Tom Hardy's Venom from 2018 was safe to say on point.
Eddie? I will take care of this myself.
Eddie, where's the bug?
The movie was a huge success, it was everything the fans wanted, and the movie had it all. Today we have the news of the sequel already being made. We're gonna take a look at some behind-the-scenes facts as well as what Venom looked like behind the scenes. Enjoy! Behind-the-scenes facts. Before we dive deeper into the behind-the-scenes footage of how the movie was made and all the elements in the project as a whole, let's take a look at some behind-the-scenes facts you probably didn't know about Venom. Thus, ahead of the sequel's highly anticipated release, we're gonna tell you some fascinating details about the movie that came to light. The first Venom project started in the 90s by producer A.V. Arad after he noticed how well action figures of the character were selling at the time. Even when Sam Raimi was working on Spider-Man 3, Arad forced him to include Venom despite the movie being overstuffed. However, Sam had no interest in the character for the sole purpose of setting up a spin-off. All of this backfired when fans hated the version of Venom and the spin-off was called off. However, in 2018, Arad finally got his wish and Venom appeared in his movie. When Venom hit theaters, fans were quick to notice that Tom Hardy's portrayal of Eddie Brock was somewhat eccentric, which is due to a combination of vastly different influences, including the likes of the comic neurosis of Woody Allen, the violent capabilities of Conor McGregor, and the zany person of rapper Redman. Ruben Fleischer was quick on his feet and jumped at the chance of directing a Venom movie. That's because he wanted to make a superhero movie ever since he saw Tim Burton's Batman from 1989. Before Ruben, other directors like Adam Wingard and Rawson Marshall Thurber were in consideration, with Ruben eventually taking the director's chair in the end. Do you know the scene where Eddie goes to a fancy restaurant? Well, this scene almost cost Venom its "no animals were harmed" disclaimer. When Tom decided that he was going to climb into the aquarium tank, the lobsters had to be replaced with plastic ones, avoiding any accidents or injuries in the process.
Eddie, Jesus!
This is dead.
We know that Tom Hardy was the first choice for Eddie Brock. However, did you know that Charlton Drake, the villain in the movie, was almost played by the likes of Pedro Pascal, Matthias Schoenaerts, or Matt Smith? But in the end, it was Riz Ahmed, the star of Four Lions, who managed to clinch the part.
We're not finished.
Yes, you are, Mr. Brock.
Is that a threat?
Have a nice life.
In addition to playing Eddie Brock, Tom Hardy also provided the voice of the symbiote Venom. He even recorded almost all of the lines even before starting to shoot the movie. This also meant that all of the lines could be played to him through an earpiece when he was performing Eddie's scenes opposite of Venom. This is the second time Hardy has done this after his first iteration of his technique being used by him while playing the Cray twins in the movie Legend. As in any other movie, there were a lot of changes until the final cut of the movie, which started with the Life Foundation satellite crashing in Malaysia and the symbiote samples found inside. This scene was much longer, and if it wasn't eventually cut, we would have been able to see the shuttle's crew, including John Jameson, discovering a comet filled with symbiotes and taking 4 samples to bring back to Earth. Michelle Williams has also said that one of the main reasons she took on the role of Anne Weying is because she would have the chance of working with Tom Hardy, of whom she's a big fan.
He plays all these really intimidating, scary dudes, but in life he's just kind of like this.
And after the movie came out and she became She-Venom at some point in the movie, she added that that was one of the other reasons she signed up for the movie. Ruben Fleischer in an interview said that before the final cut, there was also a scene of the symbiote planet and where they come from, but the scenes were cut, so maybe we'll get to see the symbiote's planet in the sequel. Tom Hardy has also shared his desire for the character, saying that one of the main reasons he took on the role of Eddie Brock and Venom is because his son, Louis Hardy, is a huge fan of the character, and since Hardy mainly appears in movies filled with violence and more adult movies, he finally wanted to play in a movie which his son could watch, a PG-13 movie in which he bites people's heads off.
I think he just looks brilliant. I like the look of him. As a character, he's got massive teeth.
Tom was not very familiar with the character in the first place as he did not know Venom, so his son was there to help him and coach him to become the best Venom to this day. The making of Venom behind the scenes. Over the years, there have been many iterations of the character of Venom, and we learned from director Ruben Fleischer that Tom Hardy's Venom will be taken from the Lethal Protector part of his story. The movie is a huge stunt-driven piece. It involves a lot of fighting, a lot of cars and bikes and stunt scenes. One of the key elements we're going to focus on in this section is an event that takes place in the early moments of the movie the first showing of Venom in Eddie's apartment when mercenaries come for him. In the scene, Venom is the puppet master, which sounds easy when it's described, but a lot of work when you come to the point of realization of it.
You are making us look bad. I will take care of this myself.
As Chris O'Hara, the stunt coordinator in the movie, says, there was a huge amount of thought involved in the whole scene, as they wanted to do it right to design the fight much more thrilling. A lot of time was spent on rough animations, concept art, elements contributing to the idea of how everything would work. Tom Hardy has said in an interview that he liked doing stunts, but this one was quite tricky as he had to do two people combined into one. So with the wires out of the way, it was Tom himself who made the whole piece stick together and be what you see on the big screen. The scene perfectly shows the contrast of the two personas into one body, Venom being the selfish, powerful symbiote, and Eddie the mere mortal of the earth. Tom's commitment put together with the rigging done in the scene was the best combination the whole project ever needed at the time. The construction department was also there helping him in every possible way, figuring out slots and places where the crew could fit all of their toys to bring out the best from the super strength Venom brings to the table, making all the effects come to light without ever going over the top. This way, the human factor came in place, which was crucial in the depiction of how the human symbiote connection works. The scene that follows sets Eddie in the streets of San Francisco where Eddie lives, but the scenes were filmed in Atlanta, so for the filming of the set, many Coca-Cola and CNN signs were removed by the crew so the scene would not give away the location of where it was filmed. The scene takes place on the streets after Eddie leaps out of the building and on a motorcycle, being chased by a squadron of radio-controlled drones, all armed with explosives. Andy Gill was the second stunt coordinator, which was at the helm of this sequence of the movie where Eddie is scared while Venom takes the wheels of the whole situation. After the first fight with the mercenaries, this second scene had to be epic, and it was, as the whole sequence managed by Gill was able to depict Venom in the world of chaos in which he thrives in, bringing him into the spotlight even more. Before everything settling down and the calm talks between Eddie and Venom eventually start. On a related note, tell us down in the comments below what rating would you give to Venom and Tom Hardy. Well, also, what are your expectations about the sequel? Feel free to share your thoughts, and also don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.